Today we see the next file organization technique called direct file organization. Earlier in this week we have seen the first file organization technique called sequential file organization. Before going to the file organization, that is this direct file organization technique, let us once again revise what is meant by file and what is meant by file organization. The first one is a file is a collection of records related to each other. The file size is limited by the size of the memory and the storage medium. That means the file represents a collection of interrelated records that relate to a group of entities or a same entity. Here, an entity means it can be a person, a place, an object, or a concept about which we maintain certain amount of data. Such interrelated data are stored in a file. Next one is the file organization. The file organization ensures that records are available for processing. It helps to ensure the efficiency of disk design than the tape. That means earlier in the files are stored in the magnetic tape storage medium, which was very less in capacity, but the hardware required for managing or presenting or outputting the data was very difficult. Now the storage disks are available, that is the magnetic disk like your hard disk. All such hard disks will contain the records in the form of the records are stored in the form of files. Such files are properly managed, available. It maintains the data or records available for processing. Processing means they can be editing, updating, deleting, and so on. Now we come to the concept called direct access file. Direct access file is also known as random access or relative file organization. That means the data stored in a direct access file can be accessed randomly, unlike your sequential files. In the case of sequential files, the data are to be accessed, stored, retrieved, or updated in sequential manner only. That means record by record. We cannot access one particular record at a time directly, whereas it is possible using this random access possibility. That means the records can be directly accessed with minimum amount of the storage requirements and minimum amount of time. We can easily access a particular record directly, which is stored in its proper location. In direct access file, all records are stored in direct access storage device called DASD, direct access storage device such as hard disk. The records are randomly placed throughout the file. That file contains the data in the order called, say for example, if the data are available, this is your hard disk space, the disk. In this disk, the data are stored in the form of a group of sectors. Here, each of these sectors are going to hold the data values separately, and this data can be stored anywhere in the file like this. These concentric circles are called the tracks, and each track is internally divided into a number of sectors, and each sector is capable of holding fixed amount of bytes. So this is the structure of the storage medium. Next, coming to the concept, direct file organization refers to access the records directly without accessing all the records. You need not have to access all the records at a time. In such cases, sometimes keys were also treated as addresses. So each key of the data items is also treated as address. In this organization, we consider two types of methods for finding direct locations as unique address based on the subscript. Subscript means the index, array index values, and the hashing methods. The second one, the records does not need to be in sequence because they are updated directly and rewritten back in the same location. This file organization is useful for immediate access to large amount of information. It is used in accessing large databases. That means here the records can be rewritten at any point of time easily and directly. They can be easily updated directly and they can be rewritten back immediately without taking much amount of time for accessibility and storage. Now, there are two methods as we discussed earlier. The first one is unique address or subscript method. In this method, if the subscript of an array element is given, then we can determine its address to store contiguous location, to store in contiguous storage location as like this. Earlier, while working with the arrays, we have already seen how to calculate the address of a particular element given the address of the starting element. The same concept comes here. Here, assume the given array dimension as A of LB is to UB. That means lower bound to upper bound. It can be either 1 to 10, meaning that A is an array having 10 elements size, where LB is lower bound or index, UB is the upper bound of the array A. Now, then the address of a particular location A of I can be calculated as address of A of I is equal to base address, that means the address of the starting element, plus I means the ith element we are talking about, I minus LB into size of element. The size of element varies between the different data types used for the array. If the array is of type integer, the size is 2 bytes based on Turbo C implementation. Then if the array is declared of type character, the size of the element is 1, and if the array is declared of type float, the size of the element is 4. Now consider a simple example. Consider the array format as like this. Here we are assuming the starting element's index is 1, unlike it as 0. Now the addresses allocated for each of these elements is 1000, 1002, 1004, 1006 and 1008. There are 5 elements present in this. To locate the 4th record of existing file, it can be directly located as YA4. If you want to find the address of YA4, then we will be using 1000. 1000 is the starting element address plus 4 minus 1, where 1 is the lower bound, into 2. Here size of the array or size of every element is 2, since we assume that this array is of type integer. So 1000 plus 3 into 2, first multiplication is done, 3 into 2 6, and 1000 plus 6 it gives you 1006. That means hence the control directly moves to the address location 1006. Suppose I want to store 25, it will be directly stored in 1006.25. Even if you try to access the value stored in a particular element, the process of calculating the address is also done in the same manner. Now, the second method is hashing process. Hashing, as we have already discussed in the 4th unit, once again we revise only the basic concept related to hashing. The process of mapping a collection of records into appropriate positions of the hash table is known as hashing. Hashing is the process of mapping a collection of records into appropriate positions. Here, it can be a record or a single data item. Generally, the records are uniquely identified by one particular data item which does not accept duplicate values. Here, we assume there are 3 buckets or slots present in a simple hash table indexed from 0, 1, 2. Now 0th index is meant for holding any value which whose remainder is equal to 0. So 30, then 46, then 14. Likewise, the data are stored. Here we assume that the size of the hash table is 3, and when 14 is divided by 3, we get the remainder as 2. So 14 is stored in second index. Similarly, 46, if you consider, when 46 is divided by 3, then we get the data, the remainder as 1. So the storage location 46 is 1, and 30 when divided by 3, the remainder is equal to 0. So 0th index is the location for 30. Next, coming to the hashing techniques. The given set of values is stored into appropriate position of the hash table with the help of a hash function is known as hashing technique. Hashing technique is a technique which is used for designing or finding the proper location or position for a given value in the hash table with the help of a hash function. Here, the different methods used for creating hash functions are: number 1, truncating method, truncation method, folding method, mid-square method, division method, and digit sum. This is an older technique used for hashing, whereas which is now it is not used. Mostly we will be going for division technique only. Although we have already discussed all these concepts in the 4th unit during the hashing process, I would like to revise these techniques once again for our understanding purpose. Now, the first one is the truncation method. In truncation method, the hash function h of k, key k is obtained by ignoring a set of digits, and rest of the combination is used as the array index of the hash table. That means some of the digits of the given key value are ignored or truncated or cancelled while considering the location for the corresponding data item. It depends on the user how many number of digits have to be truncated. Now, as an example, assume that key k is given by 928314275. There are 9 digits present in this. Now, there are different strategies followed for truncating. Here we are using a simple truncation method called the first 3 digits from left to right are truncated, and the 4th digit is considered. The next 3 digits are truncated, the 5th next digit is considered, and the rest of the digits are ignored. Now the last sequence has only single digit, no problem, that will also be ignored. So the remaining 2 digits we have are 3 and 7. So the corresponding storage location for h of k, that is h of 928314275, is 37. So at 37th index position of the hash table, the value 928314275 is stored. Now the second method let us consider, called the folding method. The folding method is another important and useful method that will divide or partition the key k into a number of keys or parts. In this method, the partition the key k into a number of parts as k1, k2, k and so on up to kn. Each of these individual parts are added together and ignoring the last carry, if any. If the carry is available, we ignore that carry. H of k is given by k1, k2, k3, k7 up to kn, and they are added together. Then we can apply truncation method to obtain the final index position of the key element k. Example, the same key, let us consider 928314275. Here, since the number of digits is more, we are using the partition to contain 3 digits. So the first 3 digits is given by k1, the next 3 digits is given by k2, and the next 3 digits is given by k3. So 928 plus 314 plus 275 will give you 1517. Out of this, let us ignore all the digits that are present in odd positions, that is from right to left, the first position, second position, third position, fourth position. All the odd position, the digits are truncated, and we consider only the digits that are present in the even positions. They are from left to right, we will be writing 1 and 1, which will give us 11. So truncating odd position digits, we get 11. So the given key 928314275 is stored in 11th index position of the hash table. So this is folding method. There are again some other variations available called pure folding, fold shifting and fold boundary, in which the digits are folded in this case. So that we have already discussed in the hashing table. Next one,